So ito yung four-word relation natin. Could be contrast, comparison, condition, or cancellation. Contrast kasi, halimbawa, Ephesians 2, it speaks of former spiritual existence natin na tinutukoy dyan. We are dead in sins. Pero may salitang, but God, pag sinabi mong but God, so there are having a contrast then na dead yung una, but God, sabi dun sa verse 4, He gave us life, no, eternal life. So contrast yon, death and life. Comparison. Greater is He who is in you than he who is in the world. So merong two who V na for human allegiance are compared. Greater is He na sa atin at yung nasa world. Number 3, condition. So meron mga word relation ng condition. Halimbawa, if my sa 2 Chronicles 7:14, no, alam ng karamihan to. If my people humble themselves and pray, yun yung sinasabi doon. So, kung yun yung mga condition, then may resulta. So, may conditional yung mga words na yun. Kaya kapag gumawa ka ng sermon about this, di ba ang sinasabi natin, may 3 kondisyon or 4 na kondisyon ng Panginoon upang ang ating bansa ay mabago o ma-revive. So, may mga conditions. So, the condition for God's response of our calling in His name, may purpose. Meron din tinatawag na purpose, Ephesians 4:12. He gives the purpose for which God special leaders to church for equipping of. So ito naka-under yan ng forward relation, no. And cancellation. In Romans 8:38 to 39, ito yung sinasabing neither death or life, height or width, sabi niya ganon, nor spiritual forces, sabi niya ganyan. So, hindi itong isa o itong isa. May relational yung dalawang yon, but it cancellates both of them na hindi itong mga to. Diba? Neither death nor life, angels nor principality. So, it indicates that both the spiritual and physical realms are powerless against the enduring love of God. So, the use of neither or yung nor, it cancellates those differing, yung bagamat sila ay antithetical o magkaiba, life at saka death, kahit alin man sa dalawa. So, it means cancellation. Hindi daw magpapahiwalay sa atin sa Panginoon. So, that's a word relation, not cancellation. So, systematically, it dismantles any suggestion that external circumstance could threaten this love of God unto us. Napaganda, no? So, there are 4 cancellations. Di ba? The spatial space, di ba? Yung height or width, spatial yon. Neither yung death or life. Neither death nor life. So, ibig sabihin ay neither circumstance dito sa atin or principality or spiritual, spatial. So, indicates that both spiritual. Yan na. And neither life or death, pwedeng sabihin natin dyan na physical realm. So, ito yung step-by-step process. Paano natin makuha yung immediate context? Una, pili ka ng passage. Select the specific Bible passage you want to preach on. It could be a single verse or a paragraph or larger section. Then consider the needs of your congregation. Ano bang kailangan ng congregation? And relevance of the passage to their life. Kailangan yung pasok naman. Kalawa, read the passage repeatedly. Basahin mo paulit-ulit. So begin by reading the chosen passage multiple times and then familiarize yourself with its content, language, and structure. And you have to pay attention to keywords. Ano ba yung keywords doon? Yung mga repeated phrases. Ayun, katulad nung neither kanina, di ba? Neither life or death. Neither height or width. Neither angels nor principalities. So, yun. Meron bang mga transition? So, you have to repeat it. You have to locate kung meron. So, you have to identify surrounding verses then. You have to read the verse immediately before and after your chosen passage. So, these verses form the immediate context. So, in any connections or themes that flow from one verse to another, titignan din natin, you have to note it. Then, ask the key question. Sino bang nagsasalita? Who is speaking? You have to identify the speaker. Si Jesus ba yan? Si Paul? Isang propeta? And their role. Ano bang role nila na nagsasalita doon? Do they have the authority? Are they the antagonist or protagonist? Yung kalaban ba yan o kakampi? Ganun. Who is being spoken to? Sinong kausap? Consider the audience. So, disciple ba yan? Specific group o individuals? Sino ba yung sinulatan ng Hebrews tsaka James? Mga Kristiyano ba o mga Hudyo? So, what is the main topic or theme? Kaya titignan natin yung grand theme niya. So, you have to understand the central message of the passage. What is the purpose of this passage? Bakit sinulat yun? So, you have to explore why it was written and its intended impact. Kasi hindi naman susulat kung walang dahilan. Diba? May isinulat kasi may dahilan. So, examine also the literary context. Consider the literary genre, narrative, poetry, prophecy. Yun yung kanina. So, different genres provide context. Look also for clues within the passage itself. Historical, references, cultural practices. Then, research natin kung ano yung historical and cultural context. So, i-investigate mo na yung historical setting niya, kailan na sulat, anong event yung mga nangyayari noon. Sa hermeneutics, ang dami nating natalakay ng mga example nito. Understand the cultural norm, customs, and belief relevant to the passage. Halimbawa, bigyan kayo ng yung sample, yung sinabi doon na, if anyone believes, sabi niya, kung merong isang naniwala o nanampalataya, he is and his household will be saved. Maliligtas siya. So, kung hindi natin babasahin yung buong passage na kaya pala sinabi yon, ay merong isang magpapakamatay na at tinanong niya kung paano siya maliligtas, and then tinuruan sila ni Paul and kasama niya ata si Silas noon, at dinala sila sa tahanan nung magpapakamatay na jail warden na yon. Kaya sinabi niya na ikaw at ang iyong buong sambahayan maliligtas kasi dinala yung Bible study sa loob ng bahay nila. Ang hirap naman na paniwalaan natin yun. Hindi ka naman nag-aalok ng Bible study sa bahay nyo. So, misquoted, no? Misapplied yung verse na yun kung walang application or hindi natin alam kung ano yung buong context. Bakit sinabi yun? Nagagawa mo ba yung mga conditions? Bakit sinabi? Ano yung conditions? Nakinig siya ng gospel. Dinala niya yung gospel sa pamilya niya. So, ganun din dapat tayo. Kung pinanghahawakan natin yun, gawin din natin yung context niya. So, yun yung historical context. No? So, consult commentaries and study resources. You have to read trusted commentaries that provide insight into the passage and look for scholarly perspective. Mayroong mga Bible studies tools, concordance, cross-reference to explore related verses and themes. And if you like to have some Bible study tools, pwede ko po kayong bigyan. Mag-comment lang po kayo ng Bible study tools and ilalagay ko po dito sa pinaka-description yung link ng G Drive. So, consider the purpose of the book. Ano ba yung purpose ng book na yan? You have to understand the overall purpose of the book in which your passage appear. So, how does passage fit into the book's message? And last, pray for guidance. Siyempre, kasama sa immediate context yan. Very immediate na ipinagpe-pray natin yung mensahe ng Panginoon para sa mga tupa. At tayo ay daluyan lang ng mga mensahe na yon. So, seek God's wisdom and illumination as you study the passage and ask for clarity on how to apply the message to your congregation. So, yan po yung immediate context natin. At next po natin ay yung remote context.
Sa Mobile Bible School, tayo'y nagtitipon online. Sa tahanan man o saan ka man, naroroong tunay. Kaalamang makalangit at biblikal na aral ay makulay. Sa biyaya ng Diyos tayo'y lumalago sa buhay. Karunungan at lalim sa pananampalataya. Sa Mobile Bible School, ito'y abot kamay nga. Sa bawat aralin, tayo'y natututo sa teolohiya at biyaya. Sabay-sabay ay lumalago tayo. tiwala. Sa gabay ng kanyang salita, ating inaakay ang iba. Kahit saan man dalhin ng ating mga paa, sa Diyos na makapangyarihan tayo'y nagtitiwala. Karunungan at lalim sa pananampalataya, sa Mobile Bible School ito'y abot kamay na. Sa bawat aralin tayo'y natututo, sa teolohiya at biyaya, sabay-sabay ay lumalago tayo. Ang pag-ibig ni Jesus ay walang hanggan. Sa bawat puso't isipan tayo'y kanyang tinuturuan. Sa online na paaralan, sama-sama tayong umaasa. Sa kaluwalhatian ng Diyos tayo'y nagkakaisa. Karunungan at lalim sa pananampalataya, sa Mobile Bible School ito'y abot kamay na. Sa bawat aralin tayo'y natututo, sa teolohiya at biyaya, sabay-sabay ay lumalago tayo. Hey, sa Mobile Bible School tayo'y naglalakbay. Sa pag-aaral ng salita tayo'y magwawagi. Para sa kaluwalhatian ng Diyos tayo'y nagpupuri. Sa kanyang biyaya tayo'y nagmamahalan. Ang pag-ibig ni Jesus ay walang hanggan. Sa bawat puso't isipan tayo'y kanyang tinuturuan. Sa online na paaralan, sama-sama tayong umaasa. Sa kaluwalhatian ng Diyos tayo'y nagkakaisa.